It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Good afternoon to you, everyone, at the start of another week of The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and the producer, alongside my co-host and co-producer, who in many respects, at most times, is the main producer. Doesn't he come with most of the material? And, of course, greetings after a weekend to our ever-reliable technical operator, Alton Jaquan Joseph, who's just testing on his phone right now to make sure that everything is flowing quite smoothly. Hope you had a great weekend, everyone, that you came out of it in one piece, safely, happy and all of that. Our program, as you know, airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on the radio station Real FM that serves you on two frequencies, 91.3 megahertz for the north of St. Lucia and 91.5 for the south, simulcasting on NBC Television, Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are also available on Facebook Live and on YouTube live streaming. You know, folks, with all the talk about crime, I want to encourage you. There aren't too many things about me that I can feel confident encouraging people to do, as the Apostle Paul often did in his letters to the various Christian churches in the first century, be imitators of me. I want to continue to encourage you to be like me and not to change. You know, there's going to be a lot of provocation in life. There's going to be a lot of things that can cause you sometimes to be someone other than who you are, other than who you have been, other than whom you are happy being. And sometimes it can lead you to harm or to harming others. I didn't even bother trying to get his name or his picture. But there is a young man who seems to frequent that area on Jean-Baptiste Street in the place where KFC used to be. They used to have a KFC there before. You've heard me talk about my good friend, Mr. Mohammed Aziz, who had a small restaurant there called Country Kitchen Cafe. He's relocated to Grosile. And he told me in no uncertain terms that one of the reasons he wanted to leave that area, which was very popular, by the way, people going to work early in the morning, hotel workers who the buses would come just outside and park to carry them. Before they boarded the buses, they would come by Mr. Aziz. But he said the behavior of young men in that area, over a long time he put up with it and he just could not anymore. There's always some kind of fighting, there's always some kind of drug use and drug dealing and whatever taking place outside, and guys come and they just set up their trays right outside his business on what is supposed to be a little, how you call that, a patio for people to walk up and down underneath the new CDC buildings that adjoin Darling Road and Jean-Baptiste Street, as I have said. And he just couldn't take it anymore. He's got a very low tolerance. He's a law-abiding, self-respecting man who respects people. And so he moved from there, all the way up in Grosile, a place that he calls Pepperpot now. I sadly can't go up there very often because the traffic is also another nightmare. But there's a young man who I marked his face on 2 occasions. He seems at times when he's desperate for money. He believes he can just come and demand something of you. And if you don't, he gets hostile and even aggressive. I saw the man the first time. He seemed to be enjoying himself, dancing with several different bottles of whether it's stout here and strongbow there and this there, drinking and smoking at the same time. So, you know, I don't know how you can be living large like that you have different drinks and you seem to be shaking up yourself. And then he comes and asks me to wash my vehicle. And then I said, that's okay, sir, don't bother. Oh, the vehicle is dirty. I said, that's okay, sir, I'll take care of the vehicle. And he keeps insisting. And next thing he goes and he takes his finger, and you know what they do when the vehicle has some dirt on it? They write, wash me please, or whatever. So I told him, please leave my vehicle alone. I came outside and I approached him, you know, and I said, look. And funny, I was on the phone at the same time with no other person but Dr. Kenny Anthony. And I was feeling a little sheepish, if not outright embarrassed, that Dr. Anthony would have heard what I had to tell him. Not too nice, and I suspect I spoke to him in some of the little slang that I picked up, you know, from Antigua and so on. It's hard to live among people, especially the part of Antigua that I lived in, you know, the Villa area, which is the equivalent of, you might say, I don't know if Winton's Yard is too extreme, but, you know, one of what you would consider the seedier parts of the capital, St. John's, represented by Gaston Brown, but in a new housing development that he has tried to set up there. So, you know, I was talking to Dr. Kenny Anthony, maybe at the time asking him how he felt after that collision that he had on Millennium Highway where some heavy-duty truck rammed into his back. And, you know, I used language which was not typically Shelton Daniel, not vieux commisation, Mosal, you know, but, you know, this kind of little slang things that you pick up and so on. And I told him, you know, leave my vehicle alone. I may have told him, left my vehicle alone, you know, like I said. And then it's bad to me anytime I have to interrupt a conversation with somebody. And I warned him. I said, I'm not going to tell you that again. Leave my vehicle alone. As I went back, continued the conversation with Dr. Anthony, I kind of thought to myself, maybe I got a little too worked up because sometimes words are what bring on other things. And do you want to find yourself in a conflict with this guy where he does something to you or you do something to him? He's probably already intoxicated from all that Guinness and this and that. I saw him, you know, drinking all together and so on. So I considered that was okay. Yesterday, Sunday morning, I decided, knowing that the Massey supermarket closes at 1 o'clock, so let me go down and try to get A couple of things, and one of them I'll even tell you. I decided, let me go get some of those rat traps, the glue traps, because for the first time where I live, I saw a rat. I can't believe it was a rat or a mouse. I heard a little noise in my garbage bin, and I'm looking and I'm seeing, it's a rodent poking its head up, and that freaked me out because I've never seen one there before. Kind of wondering, is it one of those occasions where you leave the door open because of the breeze and the heat and so on, which I don't often do. But I decided, no. Next thing you know, this thing is chewing up the wires of your washing machine, of your stove, of your this. Rats are just a total bother, roaches and so on. So I decided I would go down, try to get something early before they close and then, set it up so that in the night or when light is off, etc. I'm seeing somebody coming towards my vehicle, which by now he recognized. I'm seeing the same guy, and he raps on my window, passenger side. So I put on, I said, can I help you? Boss man, $10 good, if you're good with it. I said, well, I don't have. Boss, $5 good, I said, boss, I don't have. Boss, $2 okay, I said, boss, I don't have. $1 good, I said, I told you, in truth, I didn't have. I seldom carry cash around. In no time it's gone and so on, precisely because of those scenarios, giving people or some small expense that you don't want to use your debit card and so on. You don't use your debit card for $12, $10. I normally put a rule, $30 and up is what I use it. So my change on me often goes, pretty quickly and so on. Oh, $1 was you gonna give? I said, I don't have. They could see he's getting agitated. Then he goes and he finds some kind of bunch of banana. Well, it wasn't banana. It must have been either plantain or macambu or this thing that looks like a cross between plantain and macambu. They call macambu banana. And he's offering me a hand of it, that he can give me a hand for $5. And I said, boss, I don't want. In any case, I'm not buying anything from you. You don't look like you're working. You don't look like a man gardening, hanging around. That most likely will be something you stole somewhere, somebody's bunch of thing. You cannot. He said, give me a chance. He went over to fetch the bunch or whatever, or to fetch a knife, and he's coming back. And I said, this guy is really determined. He starts with $10. He reaches $1, and now he wants to sell me something, the bunch of stuff looking beat up like anything, like something, somebody who don't know how to handle farm produce, So it's bruised and blackened and so on because he probably dropped it there in his desperation. Mind you, he have big rope chain around his neck, rope chain. I don't know if it's made of tetsiten, because there was a saying that you couldn't have any public standpipe because they were knocking off the heads, which is made of brass or whatever it is, and they were melting it down to make it look like they have gold. But the guy have gold, multiple rope chain around his neck and so on. One of those kinds of people I prefer not to deal with. So he goes and he takes it, and I see he takes out a little knife. One of those very short little knives, but which is enough to slash a man with, You can mess up a man's face or you can slash his belly. And he's bending down, I suppose, to cut a hand to show me the hand that he can give me for $5 or whatever. At that point, I said, look, this guy is just too bothersome. I'm going to cut off what I was going to do at the supermarket. I started the vehicle, and I made oh, you're driving off on me, man! And just in time as I'm getting, he slams his hand on my vehicle, slap. And I hear him, I'm just saying, I feel like pricking your tire, And I'm going a little further, and I will shoot you, I feel I committed a little dereliction of my civil duty, that I didn't go and report this guy or didn't take any step any further. But I said, just get out of there, walk away. In this case, drive away is better. But I know he probably now knows my vehicle only too well. He maybe is waiting for some other opportunity to meet me. So I don't know if anybody pertaining to law enforcement administration can look at that area and find out, because since I have been going around there to Mr. Aziz, I have never had any hostile encounter with anybody in that area. Matter of fact, there's some guys who know me there, and they've become pretty much friendly towards me on account of seeing me on TV, and especially since I came back and I used to be regular with Richard Frederick. And Richard is very popular. At one time, some of them came and they told me, boss, things are rough, help us. I figure, okay, 5 fellas. I took out a $50 note and I gave it to them. I said, okay, share it among you all guys, They laughed. They said, something with you. It's not just Richard Frederick, you just be on TV. You just like Richard Frederick, I took it as a compliment that maybe Richard is open-handed and charitable and whatever with them, etc. and so on. So, around there, I tend to be somebody, I get the feeling that I am liked, that I am welcome, that I am looked up to. I've never had any problem. But I'm telling you all this long story to tell you how easy it is, and sometimes through no fault of yours, that you can find yourself in problems with people who are the types who are just looking for trouble. Either they are caught in substance abuse and addiction. Either they're just troubled people who just don't feel themselves, or they don't feel authentic or validated unless they're looking for a disagreement with somebody. I don't know why. I mean, yeah, you may be desperate for money, but you want to sell me something, you want to beg me, and because I don't want, you're talking about pricking my tire, and you're talking about, shooting me and this kind of thing for that. These are the kind of things. Because exactly what Richard was saying on Thursday last week. You do something to me or to anybody else, your mind don't tell you that I have friends, that I have family, that I have people who are for me, that some of the people who right around where you're liming, they probably look up to me that somebody might do you something. I went home and I sat and I said, but look at me, on a Sunday morning getting myself in this kind of problem. Until I said, do not be surprised, prepare yourself that you may hear somebody do something to that guy. You don't know his name, you don't know who he is, and it just may be when you see the picture that you'll say, wow, this is the same guy who's looking for trouble. At the end of the day, I said the best thing I did was exactly what I did. Just get away from there. Just walk away. Just move from there. Now, that's not to say he may not be there waiting for me or looking out for me next time, etc., etc. I'm going to do what I should have done. Report the matter, get some police involved and so on. Nowadays, when people tell you they go prick you or they go stab you, people take it seriously. Don't make noise with them. Don't try to go and carry for them, because it may be a mind that is not working well because of weed. The desperation he had is maybe because whatever crack he's using was wearing out. He needed a new blow. He needed a new fix. So he's desperate for some money. He started at 10. He go down to 5. He go down to 3. He go down to 2. He go down to 1. And then he tried to sell me something. So it just goes to show that there is a disturbed mind, desperate for money, and usually that desperation for money is for a fix, a drug fix, to get whatever it is, however they call it. I don't know the terminology, the 5 bag or whatever they want. I don't know. Be very careful. There are a lot of people like that, and folks, do not change, because at the end of the day, somebody like that, if you happen to get the upper hand and you do something to them, all the society and the law and the news will see and will report is that you prick somebody or you shoot somebody or you do that, and they will not see what happened before. They will not care what happened before, especially if you're somebody of some kind of respectability. This kind of thing is what is going to be circulating. So, folks, those of us who are able to, let us keep the peace. At least I was able to drive out of there before he pricked my tire or before he do anything like that. But this sort of thing is becoming more and more and more common. Watch out for yourself and don't get caught in it. Please, those of you who are law-abiding, those of you who are self-respecting, those of you who are upright people, hold yourself up and do not allow yourself to be drawn into this mess that some people have fallen into. Because once they're in the hole, they're less interested in you giving them a hand to pull them up. They're more interested in trying to pull you down. Enough said on that. Very quickly before I hand over to Terry, a new COVID variant known as NB.1.8.1. I don't know how people are supposed to remember that. But a new COVID variant is here. That's what I'm reading on HuffPost. And it's more transmissible. Here are the signs and symptoms. A new COVID variant known as NB.1.8.1 has made landfall in the United States. Okay, so it's in America. There's been no report, no information, which the Ministry of Health would give you. But it's never in any way unhelpful for us to know those things. As of late May, the variant, which was first detected, where? Guess where? In China. Trump will be really, really right on top, because it was first detected in China this past January, accounted for 10% of the SARS-CoV-2 sequences tested from around the world, recent surveillance data found. That's a significant jump from 2.5% 4 weeks ago. A Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC spokesperson, told HuffPost that the agency is in regular contact with international partners about the activity of NB.1.8.1. Up until late May, only 20 NB.1.8.1 sequences had been identified in the US. That's below the threshold for a variant to appear on the agency's COVID dashboard. As soon as its prevalence increases, NB.1.8.1 will pop up on the tracker, the spokesperson added. And then it gives a list of symptoms. This is not to alarm you, but we know what is said that once America sneezes, we catch a cold. And we have a lot of traffic of our people between St. Lucia and the United States, indeed between the Caribbean and the United States. So although you think it requires a certain critical mass, but that's just to tell us COVID has not gone away. Let us be careful, let us be watchful, but above all, let us listen to our health authorities who will, if that information becomes applicable or relevant to us, I'm sure will disseminate the information soon enough. I won't read the whole article. It's a little lengthy, and I don't think the circumstances we are in relative to that new variant, it really matters, or it really requires us to do that. But COVID is still around. Terry.
Yes, Shelton. Miguel, you have to be careful, what you write. Miguel says to you that if the guy wants a blow, he should get a job.
Nice one.
So, Miguel, you are mischievous, Miguel. Yeah. Be careful what you write there, Miguel.
Nice one.
So if they want a blow, you should get a job. Okay, Miguel, nice one. But Shelton, I'm with you. We have to try to de-escalate. Sometimes, when moving away from something doesn't make you a coward. It just makes you smart. And especially in the climate we are in, there are people itching, for trouble. We don't humor them. Move away. Move aside. What did you do over the weekend, Shelton? The celebration time,
Well, I celebrated.
You did?
But I didn't go and join any event anywhere because the chairman of the party had already indicated to me that they were keeping things low-key because they didn't want
But there was nothing low-key about some of the celebrations I saw.
Denry, Vieux-Fort, and Castries East.
Yes.
Even Castries Central, Honorable Richard Frederick.
Although he says he's doing something this weekend.
Yes.
But Shelton, let's start on a positive note, man. Jacqueline, video free? Oh, man, I heard this song and I fell in love, man. We're still in celebratory mode, eh? Video free. Celebrations were epic from those I saw, Shelton. I spent a little time in Castries, that's my constituency, with the people there, the Prime Minister, is the parliamentary rep, also the Prime Minister. We had a good time. I was not able to go around because I figured I had a boss waiting for me at home, my 2-year-old grandson, met already. So I went back. But all in all, Shelton, I think it was a wonderful celebration. And we do have a lot to celebrate. I mean, people in education. I mean, the Prime Minister on Friday, we were only able to touch education and agriculture. And one of the things that we did there recently, about a week and a half ago, today's what? I have no idea what today is. Monday?
It's Monday the 28th, Terry. You mean you've been around me so much, you're beginning to, my senility starting to rub
up. I just know when I wake up, go to the beach, have my swim, go home, have breakfast, and then, prepare to come here.
Okay.
I have no idea. So I'm serious. So I think days ago, Shelton, the farmers, the banana farmers and plantain farmers, you know what the Prime Minister did for them?
Insurance.
Because they are vulnerable. Any weather event, they are the ones who suffer the most. And sometimes the government have to come in and sponsor. But he used $1 million. I mean, there was a big ceremony, and I think I don't want to call it the wrong insurance company. So that insurance and the farmers, the banana and plantain farmers, they will be covered. So in the event there is some weather event or something which causes damage, we have a buffer. Now that alone, I mean, there is more, but that alone is a reason to rejoice, because our farmers have been taking it hard for a long time. Shelton? Look at what happened with Renera when the machines were down and they couldn't get boxes. The packaging material.
Yes.
And the goodness of the Prime Minister, he responded almost immediately because they lost, they suffered loss, the farmers suffered loss. He was able, to maneuver and to make a financial contribution to the farmers.
It may not have covered every cent of their loss, but at least it was better than nothing.
And then he realizes he cannot always be pushing his hand into taxpayers' money.
Yes.
So now that he has decided that, no, we need to give the farmers, farmers, you have to, when you go to the polls, whenever it is called, you have to remember that. No other administration, no other prime minister has done that for you. I know one bluffed you. He said you will be exporting bananas to Matnik at $45 a case. I want to get that right. If the 45 is wrong, it's not deliberate, but an improved amount. So a lot of farmers went back to the farm, and lo and behold, espoir bal papai. Bluff you for your vote. Philip JP doesn't operate on bluff. He helps you, and when he realizes, well, he cannot sustain, just giving you things all the time, he brought in an insurance for you. The banana, that's a start. Okay? You have to start somewhere. You cannot do everything one time. And that is the thing that you have to understand. He cannot do everything one time. Everything cannot happen at once. So step by step, he has started with the banana and plantain farmers, giving them insurance. And that in itself alone should earn your vote. Don't vote for the Labour Party. Vote for progress. And you're seeing progress. Of course, it's the Labour Party that's doing it. You understand? So even if you are flubbo, you have benefited because you're a farmer. Which administration has done that for you? Who has looked after you? Look, I understand that the Minister of Agriculture said, the oil, the last time you complained because there were supply chain issues and Guy Joseph made a big hue and cry. No, we have enough oil, it says, to last until December. Oil. You are giving your inputs free of charge. You got your water tanks free of charge. Which other administration has done that? So farmers, when you see election is called, don't worry. Don't listen to the noise and the bluff. I heard a fella last night, trying to bluff his way to. I'm going to call you out after the break. A bluff. You come in with the same old nonsense, découché. You're trying to warm to give people. Come on, man. Farmers, the fisher folks too. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, when the fisher folks get up.
Last night I heard that Babuno can be the bread basket of St. Lucia, not just of St. Lucia, of the Caribbean. Imagine. And I'm wondering, did that thought only come because the Labour Party is in power? Because to the best of my knowledge, there was an agriculture minister, no less, as the MP for Babuno on 2 occasions. If I remember. How come I didn't hear this bread basket kind of thing and so on? Is now you're hearing it, that Babuno will become, in the days when Babuno did not have so much variation of land use, that they did not have to convert so much of the land to residential and housing and so on. When Babuno was a vast green expanse, so to speak. You all were not talking about that. It has the potential. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Terry. Sorry about
that. Farmers, after the Prime Minister has done that for you, you go and vote for a man who says a jetty is a toilet. That's what he told people in Miku, Miku North. After Jeremiah, came there and he put down the real McCoy, the real jetty, so that you could go out there and get your, the fishermen will go out there without he put toilet facilities. This leader of the opposition says what? Everybody went down there to open a toilet. That's how he thinks of us,
Yeah.
We went to... But farmers, the Prime Minister is looking after you. He's putting you first. Nobody else has done that. Not the side, when they were in office, they didn't care about you. Because if you're going to tell the fishermen, who struggled. You know, Shelton, I mean, I don't know. We had a neighbor who was a fisherman, Mr. Ruben. Well, he's dead. God bless his soul, you know. He showed us a lot of things. You know, these fellas would get up early and go out there. Sometimes they're out there and they catch nothing, you know. But they have to gas up. So they spend hundreds of dollars in fuel. And they come back with nothing to show, maybe 1 or 2 days. And they're not asking for a handout, you know, Titus. They're asking just for assistance to ensure that they feed us the protein. And this guy would say, I am not giving them a cent because they use the roads. That's the kind of man, Titus, you want to sell for us? I'm coming to you. That's the kind of man you want to repackage and sell for us?
Anyway, we're due for a commercial break now, Terry. Let's take the break, but before we do, let's give a shout out on her birthday to a wonderful lady of Bogus Babuno, Mrs. Lily Walcott.
Okay.
And Lily, a happy
Bogus,
birthday to
right.
you.
Yes,
She used to have an entertainment spot called the Country Pub
Okay.
long ago. But she's moved to a different part of Bogus after the massive landslide that they had there, which affected the area she was at before.
Right.
And Lily is the wife of Mr. Fred Walcott, the former Cable and Wireless gentleman. So I think we also should send greetings to Mr. Walcott as well.
Yes, and he listens all the time.
Yes, but today is Lily's day. So, you know, nice service. She's been a friend for a very, very long time. Very nice person. And I wish you the very best and many more birthdays to come. Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters, will be back shortly.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417, let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to and staying with the real issues at the start of another week on this Monday, the 28th of July, 2025. And don't forget, we'll be having 4 days this week, a shortened week, because Friday will be the 1st of August. And that, of course, is Emancipation Day, a public holiday in St. Lucia. So we won't be having any real issues, but we'll be having a lot of activities to mark this very important day. You know, days like Labor Day, the 1st of May, Emancipation Day, the 1st of August, very important days in our calendar because of our particular history, because of our evolution, because of our progress, and because, thankfully, for the consciousness that we have of their significance and what they represent. Terry Fenelon is with me, and let me allow him to continue after I acknowledge this message from Miguel. I don't know why he giving me message for Terry, you know. Tell Terry my cap still doesn't fit, so I couldn't wear it on Saturday. You know, I don't know what that means, you know. You have a cap for so long, it still doesn't fit. You haven't changed the cap. You haven't guandi the cap or do something to the cap whatsoever. Do we have any other messages there that I can read at this time? We'll leave them at that. Terry, go ahead.
Yeah, Miguel, you know where to find me, all right? That's not a public secret. You know where to find me, all right? Okay. Shelton. You know they say, "Lao pani bop you couple do." That's what the old people say. So with Babono yesterday, they stank up the place. Let's play video one shot and just give me your views on that. I mean, that's the main event, main draw. Yo, let's say that. Let's play video one for me.
But my Babono, we will work to empower young people. We're not giving a handout. We are giving a hand up. We will work together to organize young people, so that you become ownership. So I'm being told to wrap up.
Get off the stage!
I'm being told to wrap up.
Get off my stage!
I intend to be your representative.
Get off my stage!
Shelton, I don't understand that.
Didn't the person say we are not giving handouts, we are giving handouts?
I'll come back to it. Yeah.
No, but this is not what I heard.
Yeah.
We're not giving handouts, but we're giving handouts.
Yeah, we come to that. But
okay.
Shelton, what struck me there? You had that's the main event on Sunday. Basically, it's a launching. You are the main draw, the star boy. That's what you call it.
No, you can't call him a star boy, Terry. Don't do that.
Oh, sorry. Oh, my word. Hey, strike that off.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, strike that off. Strike. I move to strike. You know, you are the main draw. You know, front and center. That's your day. That is when you're supposed to, according to fathers, come there and make an impression. And you are being told to leave the stage. No, people, let that sink in. A brilliant man, they say he is. I'm not impressed. The only thing I know he did in Babono once was he addressed a graduation. He delivered the feature address for one of our graduations. Apart from that, we don't know him. He has done nothing. But you are being launched. Main draw, you went to church. Big service. You know, Titus. Yeah, you tight. Titus. At your main event, They are sending word to you. You're talking so much papi show there. Get off the stage. Shelton. I mean, seriously? In other words, they are just confirming that you lack any substance. Nothing of substance there. And I'll come to that in a while. Because I do not understand, Shelton. Let us say we are launching a candidate. Who did we just... Okay, Butcher. In Viewfort South. He's on the stage. And he's delivering his plans and stuff. The parliamentary rep will tell him, get off the stage.
He's the man of the moment.
You're the man of the moment.
Yeah. So everybody else, if you have to cut them or curtail
people,
them or whatever, or convince them, you do that with them, not with him.
The main man. The main man. In other words, main man, you had nothing of substance. You said they were bored with you. Frustrated because what you're saying there, Maji. Now, let's play video 2 so I can come to you now. Almost the same thing, but let's say you. Video 2.
We will work to empower young people. That is the approach we shall use in Babonneau. We're not giving a handout. We are giving a hand up. We will work to empower.
Every single St. Lucian must have their own card. Ching, ching, ching in their pockets. That's what the ching, ching, ching is. The ching, ching, ching is not money. The ching, ching, ching is your empowerment.
We will work to empower.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again I'm going to ask. I wrote an article and I told these fellas, when your Sunday funnies, tell us. Claudius, no, sorry, Claudius, my apologies.
Kwakwion flambeau star boy. Actuellement, ça va pas dire wrong Breville.
Na fait pour Elisha.
Wrong Breville. Okay.
Nice phrase, you came there some good phrases, We're not going to give you a handout.
You're going to hand up.
How? What you going to do? It's a nice phrase.
That's sounding like school when you're at kindergarten.
That's right.
Hands up.
Hands out. In, up, out. Titus! How? What mechanism you going to use? I mean, your leader already says ching, ching, ching. But you say you're not going to give a handout. But you see, that is a problem with your fellas. Philip JP is already doing that. Our youth, we're going to empower the youth. He's already empowering the youth. You have not heard of the Youth Employment Agency? The youth economy? Where have you been? Oh, I forgot. You were not in St. Lucia. You were making your millions outside. So you just come, you're like free, you're pretending you don't know. Philip JP is already doing that, The youth economy, the Youth Employment Agency. Let me tell you what it is. First of all, the headquarters, the office is on Chaussee Road, just opposite my barber there. Standards, just opposite my barber. You understand? You go there. And when the youth go there, I mean, the age, I don't know. Youth is what, up to 45?
35.
Because I applied the time, no man, you told. I'm just kidding. The youth go there. They have their skills and their hobbies. They can turn that into entrepreneurship. So when they go there, they discuss their ideas and, they come with their plan, etc. Even if they cannot write it themselves, they get somebody to do it for them, and so on. When they come with that, it's approved. They get training, They don't just leave them on their own. They go for a process of training. And they get monies. Now, how do they get the monies? Whatever, let's say it's $40,000. 70% of that is a grant. And 30% because you have to be responsible. So you pay back. And so we have testimonials of people who have opened businesses, young people. The last time they were on Constitution Park, then you saw what was happening. You understand? They have gone in all fields of endeavor. That's not a handout, young man. That's a helping hand. You understand? A hand up. So yes, they had no money, but they had ideas. And we were able to, and that's where Philip JP is brilliant. He's able to take the thing from in the sky and concretize it. Make it a reality. What you're offering is espoir mal papai, because you're offering no solutions. All you're offering is nice sounding song bites. That's all. You understand? Nothing of substance. So you say, oh, we're not going to give you a handout, but we're going to give a Kuban your wife is. But I'm telling you how the Labour Party is doing it. So the Youth Employment Agency, the young people can go there. So they're good in computers, they know how to do printing and stuff. They discuss the idea. You know, they get a work plan, etc. They presented their stuff. It's approved. 70% of the money is a grant. They don't have to pay that back, but they pay the little loan. So they service that, so you can continue. So I mean, Mr. Titus, just tell Philip JP, you're brilliant. We're going to just copy your idea because he's already doing that. You said you're going to do what you're doing, but you never give details. You're short on details. You're nice, sounding nice, boy. We're going to do this and that. You try to attack Philip JP about the zero-rated items. 70 items zero-rated. Oh, 24 is already that way. Philip JP never said 70 more. He said 70. So if they're 24 they're already, so what? He didn't lie. He's 70 items. Zero-rated and VAT exempt. What's your problem? You all fellas must stop this intellectual dishonesty and you're all trying to play smart. There's nothing to play smart about. We're on your case. We'll be on your case like right on rights. We're not giving you a pass. You understand? We're waiting for you in Babylon. You take it front. The bombshell is coming. So, I was not impressed, Mr. Nothing. First of all, your party told you to get off the stage. You are a mean man. Ultimate insult. You are trying to deliver, and they tell you, we're sick of you, get off the stage so somebody else can come and talk. At your main event, you know. So if your party can dish you like that, people, what are we voting for? Mate? Now, the main bone of contention, Shelton, I don't know if you noticed, in his entire delivery, he never referred, he never beat up his political leader.
Well, Albert Fugis has actually written a piece on his Facebook page about this.
You want to read it?
Yes.
I think you should.
It's titled Meet Titus Previll.
Yes,
The UWP endorsed candidate for Babonneau, Titus Previll, was presented to the people on Sunday, 27th July 2025. Although we've never spoken, I have known Titus since his days at CCSS. Wittingly or otherwise, as Titus took us on a journey to establish that he is a legit book Babonneau and also gave us a history of UWP stewardship of the country, he avoided speaking of Alan Chasney's reign from 2016 to 2021.
That's right.
In fact, he mentioned Alan Chasney once, and he has that in capital letters, in some generalization towards the end of his speech. Was that deliberate, Mr. Previll? Mr. Previll, our African heritage has inculcated within us a fierce loyalty to family. This is something that Alan Chasney most obviously does not recognize, nor does he understand. Why else would he treat the daughter of Sir John Compton, Janine, so shabbily, then turn to Janine's sister, Chef Nina, and seek to exploit her fame by offering her to be an ambassador, an offer which she expectedly declined? Mr. Previll, Nina, a patriot and daughter of a man whom you know well, Sir John, would have only declined this offer out of love for and loyalty to her sister and family and, of course, indignation at how Alan Chasney had treated said sister Janine. Your delayed salutation was somewhat unusual, but I liked it. I especially noted that you greeted your siblings. We all know about the elephant in the room, the shabby treatment of your brother, Dr. Claudius Previll, by, drumroll, Alan Chasney. You do know that you will be required to address this at some point. Our politics is too boisterous for you to expect to slide past it. Your character will come into question. As I have already explained, we, Afro-Caribbean people, place a very high premium on loyalty to family. Therefore, you will have to explain what motivation has you subjugating the stated loyalty. Your speech was loaded with rhetoric and catchy phrases. I like the one about hand up and not hand out. It actually reminded me of Martin Luther King Jr. retorting, quote, "How can you ask a man to pull himself up by his bootstraps when he has no boots?" End of quote. You will have to flesh out this hand up, hand out thing. I like you and recognize your bona fides. That of your leader is a matter of mystery. But you will forgive me if I do not wish you good luck.
That's right.
We will talk again.
And that is what struck me. Now he talk about Sir John. Hello. You don't have to sell us Sir John, we know. There's nobody in your party that is Sir John. Be very careful. Now, Shelton, I don't want to divulge, but I was at a function at Sandals a long time ago. And I met Titus. He was there, Kokolorum. Sorry, what's Kokolorum's name again? Mr. Fede. I was there with my friend. We were guests of Lady Janice Compton because there was a fundraiser for the Sir John Compton Memorial Fund. And Titus, if you remember well, you, Kokolorum, my friend, a fellow principal, myself, 4 of us, we were in the lobby outside of the Jefferson Ballroom, and we spoke at length. And one of the topics that came up was Alan Chastney. I don't want to. You remember that? I will not divulge the content of the conversation, but you know, and I know that Alan is. You don't love him. You consider him a waste of time. So I'll leave that alone. So that is why I was not surprised yesterday. You never made mention of this guy, and you've deliberately, in all of your tracing of the development of St. Lucia, you deliberately left out the years, the Matthias years, the years 2016 to 2021. Why? You deliberately did not touch those years. I call them the Matthias years. I'll be writing about that soon. The Matthias years, the years of wanton graft and corruption. 2 Pajoa letters. And this is the fellas, you are PS, you know. So I know you are supposed to have high ideals, because to be fair, I have never heard anything untoward about you in carrying out your duties. I think you are professional. But you are now submitting yourself to a deputy and a leader who sanctioned. Because when they lied about, the Prime Minister says, the ministers assured me there's no letter. But the minister confessed in the parliament. Yes, I sent a Pajoa letter. 2 Pajoa letters, Mr. Titus Prevail. As a permanent secretary, would you have tolerated that? But now you're going to cut out to me as your deputy leader, That's the money you're trying to sell us. $70 million for the finishing of the ground floor of St. Jude. And I want you, Titus, to look at that letter and look at the last line. When people are doing evil things and wrong things, they always threaten people. And all those direct awards, I have the letter there. I did not send it to Jaquan. Maybe tomorrow. I'll put it up. The last line of all those direct awards. If you do not comply, you will be brought before the Public Service Commission, etc., etc. In other words, what you're telling those fellas there, maybe I should have put that as a quiz, Remember, you have a mortgage or your rent to pay. You have your car note. You have your children to send to school. You understand, Shelton? You have courts to pay. You have the bank to pay. You have your student loan. So, this is what Simegwen like, let's say. Your job is on the line. Bandits in coat and tie. And tomorrow, Jaquan, I'll send it to you, so we'll just put it up. We'll put up the last line. Every direct award like that ended with a threat. Failure to comply, they quoted a little section this, and this, will render you liable to disciplinary action before the Public Service Commission. When bandits and marauders are doing things that are evil, that's what they use. But thank God for the PS who says, that one I ain't touching it. Let me send that to the AG. $70 million will be paid in 1 year at 1% interest, a penalty for every day that the repayment is late. My God. These people wanted to fill the treasury. And Titus, that is what you want to go there. You want to go with fellas who tell you straight, if government take loans, whoever gives the loan must get a finder's fee or commission. $24 million for architectural works. Up to now, Shelton and I trying to figure out. Ask fellas what architectural works, not architectural drawings, architectural works. That's a euphemism for bobble. And Titus, that is what you're submitting yourself to. And this guy has already said, anybody in the party, you heard the chairman, you have to bow. You must have no spine. You must just be saying yes to the leader. And Titus, a man like you just came from CARICOM. You know what I mean? You heard when Pell resigned. You asked Pell for his job, and Pell directed you. They sent you to Barbados. I know everything, Titus. You live in that to come under that. Titus, I have to ask. What is wrong with you? If you need to have your brain examined, Gaza. And then you on the stage as the main man and they tell you, shut up, quiet, get off the stage, stay flat. Because you're making no sense at all. You're going to give no handouts but hand up. But people are already doing that. Sorry if I say people. my prime minister, my parliamentary representative, they're already doing that. Empowering the youth. So what new you coming up there with? What new? You have nothing new. I expected something of, of substance. You're supposedly an intelligent guy. But when I listen to you, you just découché. You just want to recycle the same découché. Nice phrases, stock phrases. But nothing to concretize what you're saying. So you're just going to fall in line because you figure you are a big shot. People must vote for you because your name is Titus Prevail. So you're there. This is me. Boy, the tsunami coming, boy. Just wait. You understand? Because one of the guys from Faso called the radio station to tell you, forget Faso. And what did you say? You don't need Ezekiel to win? You're so arrogant and pompous.
What he said?
He doesn't need Ezekiel to win. Ezekiel, I said it, bullface. He said he doesn't need you to win.
Where is Ezekiel? What's he?
Well, Ezekiel, Ezekiel there, we're talking and think he does give me jobs and we give each other jobs. He's a man, yes, he ain't embroiled in that. He might still have a soft spot for your fellas, but he ain't putting himself in that calma jaw there, that mushy kosher that going on there. But Titus, man, you have shocked me. After I heard you at Sandals say everything you said about Shasti, you have decided to bow, to totally submit. A man like you, but I was not surprised. Your delivery lacked substance. You deliberately avoided the years 2016 to 2021 because those years were our. So you trying to, and that's the thing, you just like Stephen Fevry. When Stephen is cornered and say, but how could a man like you work under Shastian guy? Your response is, let's not go there. You don't talk. You cannot sell your leader. You are ashamed of him. Titus, you did the same thing yesterday, All of the delivery there, you made sure you said nothing about Alan because he's not a man worthy of emulation. You can't follow it. You are ashamed of him. He's not good for the country. But you're there. Boggles the mind. So I was not surprised. And these little things you came there with. Yeah. That's why Shasti had to tell you, get off his stage. Get off his stage. Because you're there talking about yourself and you're not talking about get off the stage. That's the beginning, Because none of you can tame this man. That party belongs to him. That's not you believe you joined the United Workers Party, but that's the United Workers side. It belongs to him.
The Shasti party.
The Shastis. When Kenny said that election was between Labour and the Shastis, everybody took him to task. But history has proved him right. He has been proven right, None of you can go there and make a change. None of you can change the dynamics in that party because the party belongs to who. And what he says goes. And you all have to toe the line. And you have started towing the line because he kicked you off the stage. And you have to run with your tail between your legs. And Uvle represent Moon. Upani spine gasa, upani, yes, I can say Gwen.
Of course, yes.
Upani Gwen gasa, big man like you, that was your day. And on your day they spoiled it. Get off the stage. And it is the same thing that he did to Dominic, Dominic, they gave an interview. And the man comes and he snaps his fingers. And he points upstairs. And Met did not hesitate. And Met did that instantaneously. Met just told the reporters bye. And he followed, You are beginning to see. Well, somebody, if you all have that thing with Dominic, send it to me. Please. I need to play that. To show people how you guys have decided to have no spine. You're a spineless wonders. A friend of mine, his father used to say that. Spineless wonder. Look at Bradley. Bradley there, Bradley there, you can make a difference, Bradley, the $2 million, almost $2 million you get from the Prime Minister. When are you going to build a warehouse for the people in Chazelle? The road's bad, you're not doing anything. What are you doing with this money, Bradley? Almost $2 million. I could have understood had the Belrose doctrine been applied to you, but no Belrose doctrine. You're getting your money every quarter. Every quarter, and the people in Chazelle say they know what you're doing with it. They have not seen the warehouse you promised to build. I don't know what you put in the warehouse, but you promised to build a warehouse. Build a warehouse, man. The little roads, get some trucks and things. Because $2 million is a lot of money. If I have that gas or Shelton, I see me for a while. Shelton, I see me a gas. I mean, once in a while I may come and give him a look. $2 million, almost. Build the warehouse, fix some of the roads, Gassa. Get some concrete and thing. You know, the fella that gave the vaccine money 7.3, the man should have at least some compassion for y'all because that money is in his pocket. He can give you a few bags of cement to patch a road. I think Bradley do something spineless. You can do nothing. You sign document, and that's what burns me as a banker. You just sign the document because your master tell you sign the document. You ain't read the thing, and then later on you want to say, oh, you have misgivings and thing. Terrible. The wrinkle had fry your brains. Tighten up on your brains there so you're not thinking properly. You understand? And then your fellas want to come and present yourselves as intellectuals and bread fellas. Bread fellas, you're not 6 years in government. What did you do? Nothing. I challenge anybody, including the flubbers, to come and pinpoint to me. Give me a list. I don't ask for 10. Give me 3 things that this guy did to help you all. The pensioners, you neglected them. The teachers, you neglected them. What you did was to help people that look like you. And when you farted, Belrose come and say, oh, my grandfather was a white man. Fortunate. Boy, you did a callot then. No, I'm not preaching violence. I'm not on that. I'm talking figuratively. The man says colonialization of the conscience, and you are a black woman, a bald-headed black woman going there and trying to defend it, trying to tell us, no, he's fat, not stinking, his fat doesn't smell. Fortunately, you should be ashamed.
Terry, it's 1:30.
We're taking a break.
So I don't know at what point you want to open.
Yeah, when we come back, we'll just talk for a minute and then we'll open the line.
Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. Don't go away. The phone lines will soon be open for your calls, and we'll be looking at your messages as well.
The man.